Hey, today is a great day because we are heading to a drone exhibition. It almost became a yearly tradition now, and let's see what we can find there. The exhibition is huge and it takes 9 halls. I'm not even sure that we can walk through the entire thing. And another thing that I noticed is that they have a lot of radio interference devices here. They have wireless video transmitters, receivers, repeaters, various GPS jamming devices, big antennas, like a lot of interference. And I'm not sure that our microphones will be working if somebody flips the switch, so there's a chance that at some point the video, the audio will be completely destroyed. So let's see how it goes. Looks like the trend of making drones bigger continues this year. We saw 300 kilos drones, we got 400 kilos drones, 700 kilos drones, and that's crazy. I'm not even sure that we can find an application for such a machine. Maybe for a manned aircraft? Not sure. Let's see how it goes. Maybe we can find a few here. And what's interesting is that since big drones require big parts, big motors, big propellers, big ESCs, parts manufacturers are aligned, and we see bigger lineups from T-Motor, we see bigger lineups from Hobbywing, and a few more manufacturers and suppliers of bigger motors this year. We found one more interesting thing. The company is called Zhejiang Cableway Aerospace Technology, and they are making this gas-fueled aircraft. It is an unmanned aircraft, and it has pretty big payload bay here. And what's interesting about it is it is a B-copter, similar to American helicopter Chinook, and it's quite big. Empty weight is 360 kilos, and maximum payload is 300 kilograms. Rated payload is 240 kilograms. And it's fully remote controlled. It can do a lot of different things like scientific, maybe military, not sure, but anyway, that's an interesting thing and flies quite a long time. Fuel tank is 70 liters and it flies up to 2 hours. So pretty cool thing, in my opinion. Indeed, big motors mean manned aircrafts. They're everywhere this year. If the last year we had only EHang and a few more companies making manned aircraft, this year's is just crazy. They're everywhere. Most of them are like sporty, so you can sit inside and just fly around to high speed, like a. Yeah, it's right here. You see? Boom! Just everywhere. And yeah, most of them are just looking like hobby things to fly around for fun, but some of them are looking like products, and that's cool. So maybe we are reaching real city mobility soon, not sure. More companies are making things that can carry people. Then we reached an interesting booth. Unfortunately, this was one of those places where radio interference doesn't allow to record audio at all. We got 2 takes and audio was just awful. So I'll try to record this on post and explain what we found there. The company is called, I'm not sure that I can pronounce it correctly, Kaitianan Unmanned Aerial Vehicle, and they produced aircrafts that can land on water, can stay there, can operate on water, and the bigger one is very interesting because it has antennas on top of it and it has submarine underneath. Okay. That means that submarine can be deployed remotely while the drone provides power and radio connectivity. Submarine can go down and explore or fix something under the water. It's also worth to mention that they have emergency rescue drone, which you can deploy on the surface of water and save somebody. So that's pretty cool. The last year, most batteries were advertised at 350 watt-hour per kilogram. This year, we see a lot of advertisement of 450 watt-hour per kilogram and actual batteries at 400 and 420 watt-hour per kilogram in stock. You can just go and buy them, and that's awesome because we are getting longer working robots, we are getting longer flying drones, and overall, longer working machines. We see more hydrogen drones this year. They got bigger, we got more companies selling and producing them, and we got bigger accessories, we got better accessories, we got bigger tanks, we got some reloading machines, and overall that looks like hydrogen goes from scientific sphere and military to regular drones. I'm not sure how safe it is because high pressure applications and highly flammable gas isn't a great combo, but double the flight time is double the flight time.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Dan.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Judy.
Can you introduce yourself and your company, please?
Okay, I'm Judy. I'm from China, Nanjing. My company is located in Nanjing. We're a company of the hydrogen power system drones and the cooperative lifting system drones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have these heavy lifting drones here, right?
Yeah.
Am I right saying that they can fly all together to carry one single payload?
Yes. For one drone, it can load about 50 kilometers. Together, they can take over 150 kilometers load.
150 kilograms.
Yeah, and we can use just one remote controller.
Oh, really?
To
So
control all of them.
it is more of a software feature, right? To coordinate between each other.
Yeah, they can work together with one remote controller.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is probably a good moment to mention interesting designs and concepts I noticed on the exhibition. JO UAV had a drone that aligns itself inside the dock because of its triangular shape at the bottom. We saw a few underwater robots. There were many VTOLs of various sizes and capabilities, including this one with a frontal package loading. The box was quite large and fits pretty good in there. There were also tilt rotors of various sizes, and we also saw a few manufacturers of drones for drone shows. Some ground control stations and vehicles and ground robots. Okay. We found something interesting here. This is a tethered UAV system. So they have a power converter. If you have enough power on the ground, you can basically power on any drone in the air. Yes, it has limited range because it's basically tethered to the ground. Has a pigtail. But what is cool is that in theory with such system your drone can fly indefinitely as long as it can, as long as its bearings, as long as its motors don't overheat. And they have various systems. This is the largest one, and they said that it can power up to 600 kilogram drone. And also it is compatible with the entire lineup of DJI drones. So that's pretty cool. So you can basically tether most drones available on the market. And they have various sizes, various products, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The box itself is very large, very heavy, and very metal. Okay, that's something interesting. We saw hydrogen drones, we saw big drones, we saw manned drones. How about big hydrogen-powered manned drone at the same time? Here it is. Pretty cool, right? At this point, I want to sum up the exhibition. I was impressed by the scale. It was bigger than the last year and definitely bigger than the year before. There were many cool, many strong engineering ideas and companies on display. That said, not everything was leaving good impressions. There were companies clearly copying each other, making drones and technology for trends or to show them on the exhibition instead of actual work. On top of that, there were many FPV drone companies, clearly intended to sell their products for war purposes. And even though this exhibition is a huge celebration of technology, innovation, drones, robots, everything cool, these war-related products made atmosphere much heavier. But overall, in general, I really liked the event, and I think it's worth visiting, especially if you are in Asia. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.